Okay, question
And
number two. I know that you were a flight instructor in New York at the time of 9/11, that you were sort of like having flight simulations and stuff where when this thing happened in 9/11, you were given the official flight route of the different planes. And did you test these flight routes with other pilots to see if they could be, if anyone could replicate exactly how these planes were doing these extreme maneuvers or claimed maneuvers?
yes, we did actually. We did that in a 767 flight simulator even. We did the maneuvers in the Twin Towers, and we tried the Pentagon maneuver, which is beyond imagination that this was done by Hani Hanjour, who couldn't fly Cessna. And this maneuver was even not possible to do by the most experienced test pilot, but the maneuvers only also on the World Trade Centers, to hit the World Trade Centers with the speeds which were propagated with the official 9/11 report, which were impossible. You had to adjust the simulator in advance even to adjust it, because you cannot, with all these data which they which were in 9/11 report, it's impossible to start a simulator. It immediately says this is impossible, you cannot fly. So with high speeds to hit these towers on that level by inexperienced pilots is impossible. We couldn't do it as very experienced instructors. So yeah, we did this with these cases, not with Flight 93, but with the two cases or the three cases. We tried to simulate these.
Wait a minute. Sorry, Ole.
Go.
So what I understand, because I was there in New York on what had happened. I just arrived in the United States one day before it happens. So what you're trying to say, the pilot that only have 1 year experience, Muhammad Hatta, impossible to do that maneuver to hit the tower?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Oh, so all the story that we receive is all fabricated then? As a pilot, if you say.
Sorry?
So all the story that it is the pilot take the course of 6 months and 1 year is all fabricated then?
Yes, the official story, the official 9/11 report, the official story, the narrative is from a flight technical and flight operational viewpoint impossible. And that's Pilots for 9/11 Truth, which consisted of more than 5,000 really experienced pilots, military people, people from Boeing and Airbus, who did these 4 analyses of these cases of what happened on 9/11. They looked from it from a flight technical and operational standpoint, and they all come to the conclusion that this is, from that standpoint, impossible. So yeah, that is it's a ridiculous narrative actually from a flight operational and technical viewpoint as a pilot. I mean, all pilots who would really read what's on there would say this is impossible. What they now propagating as what happened there.
You are the first pilot to say that. I never heard about this. You're not suspicious about that. So actually, okay, so actually it's not a conspiracy theory, because I do research about that. Because when it happened 1 day before that, yeah, I feel the smell and everything, right? I was there. So this is my theory about that. In the time, the government would like to impose the Patriot Act where they can control the people. But because they have a lot of rejection from the parliament, from the people, so they create a problem. So you remember, after the 9/11, everything what the government say, people say yes. That's why come Patriot Act. So they create problem and they say, I solve it. So yeah. It's not conspiracy then. Especially when you say that it's impossible a pilot with 1 hour training can do that. So the hypothesis that it's a military operation, right? With the cost of life so many. So you don't have to. Yes, you think so?
Yes. Well,
and after that, the people in the United States were controlled.
Yeah, and but the that's another thing, because commercial aviation is part of the military. It's actually all military. All technology in commercial aviation comes from the military. If you see to the company structures of Boeing and Airbus, for instance, these are military corporations. All the technology is so, like geoengineering, for instance, they can apply it on commercial aviation because it's part of the military. Actually, if it's a very small part of the military industrial complex is the commercial aviation, that they call it commercial, but actually it's part of the military industrial complex, so they can use it for military purposes as well. But we're not aware of it. We use all this stuff, same as the mobile phones, which is all military technology used to for harmful purposes and surveillance, whatever more. We use it for our convenience, but it's actually all military technology. And then people say, "Oh, it's just a coincidence," or they use it for these purposes, or this is just a result of it.